go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah. There we go. Indeed, indeed. It's been a long time coming. It has been a long time coming. Everything.
Got the gold water.
Got the gold water. That's the sponsor. You know what I'm saying? That is the sponsor. You can tap into some of that gold water if you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead, man. Tap into some of that gold water. Man. Go ahead and tap into some of that gold water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're more than welcome. Yeah, so basically it helps with your, it really helps regulate your hippocampus. Your hippocampus regulates your mood, your retention for learning, and just helps you just fucking be on point. That shit just be on point. The wonderful thing is, that shit works immediately. Yeah, you already know. Gentlemen, what's going on, my guys?
Working.
I see, man. Well, before we tap into today's interview, we gotta say the word to the good old sponsors, Gold Water Products. Family, I just had the good family tap into the Gold Water Products. The Gold Water Products are great for immune system. They're great for brain function. That's really what it's good for. It's good for the immune system. I was referencing to the good brothers that it's great for your hippocampus. Your hippocampus part of your brain regulates your mood, your learning, your retention, your ability to retention. To retain the information, you know what I'm saying? We're about to have a high level conversation, and y'all gonna wanna download as much of this information as y'all possibly can. So tap into Gold Water Products, link in the bio on the IG, fall strong for a 15% discount. You know what I'm talking about? But with that being said, 21 grams, my guys!
Hey, what up?
What's going on with y'all, family?
Like I said, it's working, creating, man, creating.
So take me back. So this is y'all had previous projects before. Mm-hmm. This is my first project that I really sat down, dug my heels into it, and really listened to. But to appreciate where we're at now, let's take it back. How did y'all? I mean, we all grew up in 914 Greenberg, mm-hmm. But how did y'all come to this creative process? Like, yo, we gonna start spitting together.
I mean, just being in school together, I feel like everybody was rapping, right? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody had the arrow,
yeah. Everybody was doing it, so it was just like, all right, well, we had, mutual friend, my boy Cutter introduced us, and he was open immediately. He was like, oh, I got the little studio set up at the crib if you want to come through and everything like that. But he hadn't heard me spit yet,
mm-hmm.
So then once heard me, there was a different level of respect, and
mm-hmm.
they was going crazy. They was dropping mixtapes on MySpace and things like that. So,
MySpace, hashtag MySpace.
So they was well established, and we just had that mutual respect for each other, and built more and more over the years. So by the time we left high school, it was just like we was going full throttle.
With that being said, what was your reaction the first time you heard him spit?
We was in class. It felt like the bell room because I didn't know he rapped. Then you shouldn't judge a book on its cover. That's probably what I thought. But I didn't see it coming.
So once my bad, I'm gonna cut you
off. We were known in school for rapping
mm-hmm.
at the time, and we didn't even rap. So literally, it felt like the bell room. I wasn't going after that shit. That's how I felt. I remember my boy looked at me like, yeah, he take that. I feel like the dog.
I know I'm a couple of years older than y'all, but I had my eyes on everybody that I was spitting and rapping, and y'all kind of just literally just came from out of nowhere like the mm-hmm. Phoenix, and just they're here. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember I was telling him this the other day. I remember when you were the bar in high school. I remember being in 8th grade. I was cool with Malcolm Pro, and he fucked with shoes, so he was like, "Oh, it's nice." I remember you had some bar about him. I still remember everybody you had a nip tuck bar or some shit like that. Nip tuck hunters. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, for back you remember the nip tuck bar. Come on, man. Kudos to you, man.
Oh, man.
Y'all,
last
listen.
time I wasn't in shit, so I'm gonna stay at it. We started battling. I remember.
Well, listen, man. Where y'all at? Y'all are the reasons why I stopped rapping, man. Y'all is too nice, man. Listen, man. Y'all is too nice. It's very interesting. A couple of years ago, I kind of gave up on hip hop. Not even just me spitting, I've been gave up on that, but I mean just as a fan, I just felt like the music was very uninspiring. It It was just like, it was so bland. Bust your gun, sell drugs. Everybody, literally, you know what I'm saying? I started hearing rumblings about y'all, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, 21 grams, all right, here. Mike, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's cool, Mikey, you know what I'm saying? Nighthawk. And I would hear the rumblings, but it was just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? They dope. What do you think, what do you think was the first song or project y'all did that was just like, yo, we're here, like that made you solidify, like, yo, we're meshing together, this is us?
Well, we had been doing it for a minute before we had even like put like the real anything real official out. So, we're doing records, we're going to different studios and meeting different people and everything like that. And we making songs that's alright and little freestyles and things like that. But, we kind of came on the scene with that Respiration 2K12. So because that was such a hit in the mouth, and I mean, a lot of people ain't even know that I rapped when that came out.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what the fuck is going on? So I felt like that was a big moment. That was the thing. That was like, we out here.
Yeah, I remember that. So for the name 21 grams, people may have a misconception about what that mean or may not mean. So can you give people clarity on what 21 grams mean? What was the origin and the ideas behind that?
Yeah, so we didn't have a name yet. We had actually dropped the whole first project just like AJ Rock.
Yeah, I remember that.
Put it out there, and then a couple people. Shout out Coco Chanel. She was actually sitting with us talking with us.
Shout out Coco Chanel.
Yeah, always clean. And she was just like, man, from a business standpoint, y'all doing anything further? Y'all need to make it a group thing. I need to have one name that. So it just made sense, and we had gotten into a group working with each other. It was just like, yeah, let's go forward with that. So we had tried a different couple names and everything like that. But I had gone over that conspiracy theory that the soul weighs 21 grams. It was I believe his name was either Francis or Duncan McDougal. Duncan, yeah, he was a physicist in like the early 1900s, and everything was going away from. And it was like a bit of a Renaissance period where everything was going away from religion and more towards science. And he wanted to use science to prove religion. And so he had set up these experiments with people on their deathbed and like had a weight set up to the deathbed, and his experiments and measurements showed that upon passing, the body lost 21 grams of weight, 21 grams of mass. So that was his theory, that mass that was leaving, that was the soul. So that the soul weighed 21 grams. And I mean, this it's pseudoscience and everything like that, but the symbology behind it being soul, and even the play on, if people hear the name 21 grams, they probably gonna assume drugs or certain type of nature. So in fact, we kind of get them in with that, reel them in with that as the bait. And then there's so much more depth to it and soul behind it. It was just a good representation for us and the type of music that we make.
Absolutely. I feel like that plays into y'all, the way that y'all spit, y'all lyricism. It's just, 21 grams, people think that, that's drugs. Yeah. So they already have a misconception of it. And then when they hear the music, the way that y'all two balance each other out is just, I think that name definitely complements y'all rap style and the way that y'all go about things. So let's start with the first track. Well, before we start to the first track, what I noticed, and anybody that peeped the album, is that there's a narrative going around in the album. Old School is just kind of telling these stories and kind of like giving you giving like a background of the album. How did y'all even? Why did y'all choose Old School to do that? And how did that even come about?
It wasn't really. We didn't really choose them. But like how a lot of we get a sketch from our project, it'll just be outside in the parking lot around on Manhattan Avenue. So that particular time I was just outside chilling. Old School was there. He had a lot to say. So I just hit the record button and it was gold. I knew it was gold. And it kind of just all worked out for the project. It kind of like narrates the whole fucking project.
That's a fact.
It wasn't like I didn't know I was gonna get that.
Now, because it really provides a really good balance. It gives a good backdrop. it's those scenes in between, you know what I'm saying? We all good, you know what I'm saying? We're all wrestling fans, you know what I'm saying? You can hit a big move, but it's what you do in between those big moves that really grabs the crowd's attention. So Old School being on it really complements our album, really brings it home.
It was perfect. I feel like he took it to another level.
Nah, it did. It really did. It really did. It really did. It made the album, but there's a lot of depth with the album, but he added just even another level with just his stories and all of it, it connected together, you know what I'm saying?
Connective tissue to kind of make people feel like, all right, this is, you're getting a picture of our neighborhood, not just through the music, but through the characters that are there and the energy that's there. It's one of them things you can't plan that. You know, it just happened that he was in line with spirit to be in our presence. So he was in line to catch it and record it, and we put it with the music, and it was just perfect.
That's definitely what it sounds like. That he was just connected with y'all on that. So So the first track is Christ. Why that name can take on so many reasons for people. People hear that name, they automatically get something get emotional. Just for FYI for people I know, Christ is actually it's like when you appoint somebody, it's not actually a name, it's actually more like a status. You appoint somebody to be Christ. A lot of people don't know that thing is a name, but it's really something that you appoint somebody to be like a Christ. Well, why that name? Why Christ? Why start off with Christ?
We had a different name, I can totally short. We didn't have a name correct at first. And, I think it's one of those, we have a lot of records, but we'll say the same thing on the record. Don't even know that. I think we might do that. But he had an idea with the Christ consciousness. So it's too long. He had a definition. He was still behind that. It was too long for that show. So we don't really go background on it. We just put it in there. I didn't really know what that means.
No doubt. There's some really interesting things with the way y'all put together. I'm more interested in the way artists look like they I don't remember the exact order, but like y'all put it in a very specific order, and I love that because I feel like it really complemented it. The clicking, that for me, it was personally the most complete song. You know what I'm saying? When I first heard it, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a video. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it, some of the songs on there, they're just verses. There's hooks on there, but I feel like as just a complete song, that's the most like complete song. Y'all have a lot of collaborations on there. I don't want to leave anybody out. Y'all had Jossie on there. You had, I forget what my man's name is. Foster. What's my man's name on oh my gosh, I freaking work out to that fucking joint all the time. Cosign. Who's the Cosign? Okay. So have y'all known them before, or was it just like a music thing? Like y'all, I heard y'all verse on this, and let's get in the beat. I mean Jossie. With the other, I know Jossie. I'm saying he grew up with all of us. You know what I'm saying? So anybody else was this just to respect that y'all had as artists, or y'all friends before?
Yeah, like Peter Berger, that's my cousin. That's my first cousin. That's my family. So he was actually before me. He was actually one of the reasons that I felt like confident to rap. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, as long as he's doing it, he was already doing things like opening up the shit copy and everything like that. So as long as I seen him doing it, I was like, well, that's my cousin. I got to see it. You know what I'm saying? Is he doing it? Then I'm just gonna rap with him. And if he say no, I'm gonna tell Auntie. He gotta let me rap. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he was always supportive and there for me and everything like that. He was kind of taking a step back from the rap thing, and so I was just, you know, talking to him like, I want to work with you. That's what I was doing it for. It was always that intention to eventually work with him. So he was coming to the studio and got the juices flowing, and was just getting crazy verse after crazy verse. So, you know what I'm saying? We had to incorporate it and try it.
Robbie Foster, me and him kind of like started rapping together. That's like my little brother. We started rapping around the same year old. So, of course, it was just lots with it, but then we've been on the field of our projects, so I think it's 40. Jossie, Lil rapping with him. Who else is on here?
Rashad, that's what we met him at a showcase in New artist showcase.
Showcase.
Yeah, and you know you doing the showcase, you confident, and then it's like there's almost a competitive edge in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, almost there's a competitive edge in there. So you know, alright, we gonna do our thing, and anybody else, whatever, you know. But the cream rises to the top. So you hearing him. Going like, alright, it's alright, you know what I mean? You know, next record, I'm like, oh, this is a good beat too. You got a good voice for it. I'm gonna go over and not like, yeah, not nice. And after that, you know what I'm saying? He was showing mad love to us, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it was just a natural build. We actually got a few songs with him already, so we was excited to finally get him on our records. Because every time he sent us something crazy, it's a banger. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Something that really like fire and executed like we really will.
What's up? Nah, all the tracks really flow. I like the collaborations y'all had.
Yeah.
If there was anything that I would say is I was wondering, since y'all are a tag team, I'm glad y'all had the collaborations, but I was wondering, did you ever sit back and be like, we are a tag team, we kind of have was that ever a thought like, man, do we have maybe too many features?
Well, it started as a collab project.
Okay, that makes sense. An
LRPC project, which is me, EJ, Jossie, and Raleigh.
Okay.
So that's how we kind of molded the project. We went into it with those intentions, and it kind of just didn't work out with scheduling and everybody. So then we just kind of had records already we were working on, and we just put it together.
Cause that's probably like one of my only criticisms. I'm just like, yo, these two they're a great tag team.
Yeah.
So why do they don't not knocking any of the verses because the verses fire. I was just like, they don't necessarily need more features because you know what I'm saying. Both of them really the tightrope that y'all walk with the balance that y'all have for each other is a very interesting and unique dynamic. So I was just like, not saying that they throw it off because they don't. It was just I was kind of wondering just as a fan, just like these two already got a very complex duality with their team. Do they really need anybody else? You know what I'm saying? But that makes a lot more sense that it was a collaborative. That makes a lot of sense. You mentioned something about 40 Degrees. 40 Degrees in the Summer is one of my favorite tracks. Yeah, man, that's one of my favorite tracks on there, man. Everything just flows. 40 Degrees, Christ, 3:33 in the AM. The joint that you did to your cousin. I can only listen to that song sometimes. That's obviously it's a mood. It's a mood thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's you know what I'm saying. After I'm listening to you know what I'm saying, listen to some party joints, I don't necessarily want to throw that on. You know what I'm saying? It leaves the mood. But I want to thank you. I want to thank you for allowing yourself to be that vulnerable on there, like really get in depth in that, and not even just with your cousins. You know, we all felt the effects of Big John and reason that. So I just want to say thank y'all for allowing yourself to be that vulnerable because sometimes as artists we may not feel as comfortable to really go there. And I can tell it wasn't just like it wasn't like a surface level dedication song. Like you really had like a lot of memories. There were some things in there that went over my head. I think that's on purpose because there's probably some personal memories that you put in there that's not really anybody's business, but you just put it out there for the world to just to soak and absorb. So thank you. I appreciate it. It's always appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Artists definitely need to be more vulnerable. What are some of your non-hip hop influences that contributed to hip hop?
That's a good question. I mean, shoot, man. You know what's funny? Cause I take it even away from music. Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle just as a mind, just as somebody that's a abstract thinker, somebody that's looking at life and the way it's supposed to be, society says it's supposed to be, and taking something different from it, something that's supposed to be tragedy, something that's supposed to be taboo, and making you laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big influence. That's one of my favorite. Just people, you know.
Yeah.
If you talking music, man,
Say not hip hop.
Yeah, not hip hop.
Yeah. Not hip hop. Like I'm big into jazz. You know, I'm big into.
You definitely tell that with the way you put your words together, the beats you choose.
It's more just my nature is very reserved, very relaxed and everything like that. I'm a lounge and wind down type of dude. So jazz, you know, I got into that young before I kind of even really got into hip hop. So that has a big influence. And then of course, you know, like Tribe Called Quest, samples and everything like that. And it's just like, okay, everything come full circle. But even like rock, I like indie rock. I like a lot of 80s like alternative rock. I like soft rock. You know what I'm saying? Like progressive, psychedelic, trippy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The niggas was doing LSD and all of that. Like I love all of that because the sounds are so different. You know, they really connected with source. They drawing from a different place, and those sounds, those inspire me a lot. You know, I listen to that as much, if not more, than hip hop.
I would say, not in hip hop. I grew up with my grandparents. They raised me, so I got put onto a lot of R&B and like just that soul kind of music. So
you can hear that in your music too.
Yeah, so that was the only kind of music I got to like tap in. So I learned a lot about pocket and just like how to use your voice a lot. You know what I mean? From those kind of records, so like Teddy Pendergrass or Marvin Gaye. I feel like what they were saying was dope. The concept matter, but you always know it was them. How they could use their voice, kind of damn like an instrument.
Yeah.
I felt like Teddy was really good at that, as well as Marvin Gaye. So I would say that, and then off of music, probably like making this project specifically, The Last Dance, I came on with Jordan. So just his mind state of how he, as a rapper, you kind of have parallels with basketball. You kind of do it again, like your mind frame, how you approach a record. So I would say that helped with this project in particular. So watching The Last Dance, seeing Jordan's mind state, seeing Kobe, I try to tap into that when I'm approaching a record.
You can definitely you can hear that bleeds that definitely that bleeds into your music. That definitely bleeds into your music. If you had to, it's funny, we was actually talking about this a little bit earlier. If you could choose like a movie soundtrack, video game soundtrack, or like a TV show, where do you think your music would fit in there? Like which tracks that you think that you would take from that? If you had the opportunity, like, yo, this TV show. And it could be a TV show that already ended already. You know what I'm saying? Where do you think your music would fit in that?
I think we could fit like on I know Still has said that in the session 2K.
Yeah, definitely.
I could see that. We had actually submitted for the last one. Right. Steve Styles did something with United Masters. He was able to submit records. But I like 2K shows. We have such a catalog of music with different kind of vibes and different kind of sounds. You can kind of place it anywhere. So I would say like I could see our music like on Power or score for a movie. Music.
No, definitely. I agree. I think like for like a record like a 30 Days, I could easily see like in the background from a whip on a wire or something like that. You know, just you know, but nah, I think like he said that we go in so many different directions, especially when you're talking a whole discography. Things can be placed anywhere. Things can be placed anywhere for sure. What's the show? Insecure. I think we got some R&B type records that would fit really well.
I'd love to be on there.
Yeah.
What is your other's favorite verse? And it doesn't have to be necessarily from this project, but like, what's each other's favorite verse?
One that sticks out to me most, probably the verse on our first project, Triple Double, no assists. It just set the tone, the flow was crazy, the bars was crazy. I didn't know how to come after it. So like, it was just wild. So like, you know, like as an artist, like I'm so much confident in myself. I know I'm gonna come off, but that record it stands out to this day. That and what else? It was surprising. Probably Marcus Stokes too. Probably my favorite. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah, I always say Upper Room for sure, because the way you get from start to finish came out in the record, just swinging, just going crazy. It doesn't let up. I find myself out of breath listening to that verse. You know what I'm saying? Like in the verse, I'm like takes you just it's intense. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many bars and everything like that. So that. But then the verse on the song Lately, you know, we were going through things for real at the time, and he so perfectly captured it. I rewrote my verse after I heard that, because it was like, that was what I was trying to capture, and I couldn't capture it. And once I heard him, it was like, I'm not gonna half-ass this record. I'm gonna get this how I need it to be because he set the tone. But then also on our first project, Never Falling Down, I thought, that because I had such a good verse, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was so confident in it, and the direction he took felt so much more appropriate. It was so much more, it was warm, it had warmth, it had texture, it had emotion, and that's what I value more than anything as far as just like, the lyrical stuff. We talented, we lyrical, we both lyricists, we can both do that at any given record, but, to take the record and find what the song is supposed to be, and give it that heart, that lasts longer, so I think that's 3 records I gave, but all of those stand out to me anytime I think of like my favorite joints from him.
Okay, I like that. I like the varying answer. So a lot of times we hear like, oh, if you can go back to like your 16-year-old self and say like 3 words, what would you say? If you can take the artist that you are and the artist that y'all are now and go back to your first project, what would be some of the advice that you would give yourselves from your first project, knowing which as much as y'all evolved now, y'all are a lot more complete artists from when y'all started, what would you tell your debut self compared to now?
That's a good question.
Cut the intro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Got it.
We can talk about that all the time. Like even the things that didn't age well, on that first project. Because even by the time we got to 40 Degree Days, there's nothing I would change about that.
Yeah.
But that first project, there's maybe just 2 records that you know what I'm saying. Maybe some things with mixing we would change, but really as far as like there's just 2 records. But even with if we just cut that intro and let Respiration be the intro, we'd have been fine. That's really it from that first one. We was young, there was a lot of we was in our early 20s, it was 21, 22, but a lot of bars from teenage years, from high school, ended up making up a big chunk of that project. So
I mean, it's the debut project. Most people say your entire life is being told on the first project. But even with that, I do feel like because I've listened to the first project, but the House Money is the one, like I said, I've really sat down, really studied. Yeah. But even with that, I don't feel like with your first project, I don't feel like y'all just gave your entire life story on the first one. I feel like y'all did a good job with evening it out with the first project and then the second project and then with House Money, you know what I'm saying? Just still telling the story, because sometimes artists peak. They tell their entire story, and the first album is just
nothing else to talk about.
You got nothing else to talk about. So I feel like I definitely kept a good balance with just evening things out. You know what I'm saying? Then early 20s to now, you're growing as men, as people. Exactly, a lot of life. This world has been crazy over the last while, so it's I like the way that y'all. I like the way that y'all kept it balanced out. Is there any artists from the town that maybe you didn't get a chance to work with, maybe scheduling or just haven't had a chance to work with?
Yeah, 2. We were just in a session with him. Still young. I want to work with him. We're gonna get that done for sure. Westchester. Who else was say?
I mean, there's a bunch of them. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You got BTB. We haven't gotten a record with Day Day. Day Day, OZ, you know what I'm saying? These are things that, it's we're not rushing it, but it's they doing it. That was crazy. Because Jam, that's somebody that we was watching when we was younger, but it's like I said, everything in divine timing, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot, and then it's art, right? So even when you talking about they got so many, features on here, I'm surprised. Yeah, this is hard because it's 2 verses already. Most songs don't even have a 3rd verse nowadays, so it's a lot of times it's just you don't want to force things, so things happen naturally and you let it rock. But it's never like if you're not working with somebody we don't rock with them or we don't like their music. It's just timing. Even you know what I'm saying, we see us doing the records with Oak and Shorts, but we knew them for years before we ever did a record with them.
That makes what y'all said. That makes perfect sense. Before we started recording, Oak and Shorts is out there. We was all just sitting there talking, and the fact that y'all known each other for so long, even y'all two known each other for so long, and then started working together. That you can tell makes a difference in the music. Was that y'all first record that y'all just?
My first record with them was Money Talks off of Forecast.
Okay. That the joint I just heard with y'all was, man, family. When y'all hear that, it's super dope, and you can tell that y'all do know each other. You know what I'm saying? Because that friendship, it kind of bleeds
into the music.
Into the music. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I really did notice about y'all music. Is like, I mean, yeah, we from the same town, so I may have the vantage point that other people don't from kind of watching y'all, I'm saying, kind of just knowing the atmosphere of Greenberg. But even then, I can put that to the side and say, like, nah, these two, they're an actual tag team. You know what I'm saying? I always make wrestling references. You know what I'm saying? You guys run up and down the road together. You train together. You know what I'm saying? You learn the game together. You ain't just, you're not an odd couple tag team. Like, all right, throw him and him together and just see how it works, and then y'all eventually end up meshing well together. Like, y'all are like a real life, you know what I'm saying, like tag team for real. And it definitely shows through your music. If there was any person, any artist, let me get very specific, dead or alive, well, I'm gonna start, it's kind of a 3-part question all in one. Any producer, dead or alive, that you wanna work with, and any artist that you wanna work with. It's not limited to a rapper, this could be a singer, anybody, this person could be dead. This person could be dead hundreds of years ago. Who would y'all want to work with?
And you saying producer?
It can be a producer, and then a person to collaborate with. You know, it could be a singer, a rapper.
It's one person. It's like
I'll give a little leeway. You know what I'm saying? I'll give a little leeway. It might be a group that you might want to work with. So you know what I'm saying? You can throw a group in there.
I would just for the state fact, I would love to work with James Brown. Like one of my favorite artists of all time. I would just love to hear him because I know he could do it on the hip hop beats and like the type of music we do. So between him and like Marlon, those are my two. Producer, Pharrell.
Never age.
Pharrell more so than anyone. What about you?
Well, I have a certain a trinity hierarchy of artists that I respect, and only one of them is still with us. And but Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, and Prince. Because Stevie sonically is the one I have like the most affinity for. Okay. He's inspired me the most. There's just something transcendent about his music. Somebody that's playing instruments and singing, you know, and writing and you know, just such transformative, special music. Michael Jackson, because I grew up with him being like that guy, you know, like Michael Jackson was like Jesus growing up, you know, and I ain't even gonna hold you, I ain't even know Michael Jackson was black when I was little. I was like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I thought there was two people named Michael Jackson. It's a common sounding name, so I'm like, oh yeah, nothing. So, you know, when I got, I'm like 5 or 6, I'm like, oh word, that was him? Like, I didn't even understand what happened, but I was like, all right, my mother said that's the same person, and it is the same person. But, you know, the music was just special, you know, and everybody, my grandmother loved him, my mother loved him, my family, my cousin, everybody had that affinity for Mike, and his voice is so distinct, and his music so powerful, and his effect, you know, it's magic. It's his effect on people, and they crying and passing out at the shows and everything like that. There's something that's a special spirit, you know. And then Prince, you know, somebody who I was actually late to, you know. I started getting into Prince later once I started like really hearing how much respect people put him in the same conversation as Mike. Let me stop being young and being like, nah, Mike's better. Let me tap into what he's doing. And then, he's playing his instruments. Oh, he's playing his live. Oh, he did this. Oh, he was independent. He wrote Slave on his face because of what? Like, and hearing the music and how rich it is and everything that he's doing and I was so late. I was like, yo, by the time I got into it, it wasn't until a couple of years later that he unfortunately passed and everything like that. But I know that's a long-winded answer, but those three are just super, just special to me. You know, it's a holy trinity.
Is there any producer that you wanna that's always kind of caught your ear?
Except for
Pharrell, right? My go-to answer is instantly Pete Rock.
Okay.
DJ Premier.
You can hear the Pete Rock music.
Yeah. Pete Rock, DJ Premier, and Q-Tip.
Okay.
Q-Tip.
Right thing. Okay, it makes sense because you definitely hear that. Both of your answers definitely made a lot of sense because you can hear those influences in your verses music. Even though Mike and Prince are singing, you can still hear that in your verses. Even your hardcore shit, you can hear it. You can hear those influences in it. Interesting that you say Mike Jackson. I always have an affinity for Mike Jackson as well. He said something that really stuck with me. You don't write the music. You let the music write itself. And when we was just in there when y'all was doing the record with Steel and all of them, that is a sense that I got from y'all. And I'm not blowing smoke, you know what I'm saying? That was a sense that I really got from y'all that just from the conversation with all y'all, with Oak Shorts, is just y'all are just in y'all, I was telling you about how I do the interviews, you know what I'm saying? I had bullet points of things that I wanted to ask you, but you prepare for the moment, you know what I'm saying? You let the music write you. And that is the feeling that I really got from all y'all hearing that record. Y'all was just letting it, you didn't dictate the moment. Yeah. You just prepared for the moment and then boom, you just came in there and did what you had to do. Y'all being unapologetically you know what I'm saying? Not trying to hop on there, outdo this person, you just comfortable in your own lane.
Go what feels good.
Yeah, man, and that really resonates to your music, you know what I'm saying? This is the first, I've interviewed a chick, she's saying, shout out to Mia J, but I'm very particular about the rappers. Because I feel like rappers have a huge responsibility, and Tupac said this years ago, you know what I'm saying? You just can't hop on the records and just say anything, and that's why hip-hop inside of me died, because I felt like a lot of artists would just hop on a record, the shit rhymes, no matter the time, you know what I'm saying? There's no
substance.
Zero substance, man. So I really appreciate y'all for reinvigorating that light in me with hip hop, because there was a big part of me that I was just done. I was not gonna have any rappers on my show. God, I just felt like, what's the point? What's the point? I don't give a fuck about y'all cracking rap. That shit is whack, dog. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are definitely, I noticed it. I really sat with y'all project for a minute because I really wanted to soak it in and just really be able to understand where y'all coming from. And I feel like I really have, of course we're all from the same town, but y'all did a great job with painting the picture from people who may have never seen, heard anything of Greenberg, you know what I'm saying? With the old school, with the references, you know what I'm saying? Pathmark was this way, Eaton Games that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all really painted the picture of Greenberg, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, y'all really did that. What's the thing that y'all are willing to talk about? What's next for 21 Grams? What can the people look forward to from 21 Grams coming up?
So, more music, more work, merchandise.
We got the hat on here. Let people see the hat.
More merchandise, more visuals, more content.
I feel like I really, in the near future, whenever this can happen, I feel like y'all could really make some big moves in Atlanta. I say that because I travel to Atlanta often, and Red Pill has this thing called Melanin Mondays, and it's basically a spot where artists come perform. There's lectures, they sell merch, eating good food, and I can already see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go down there really. Not saying that y'all have to go down to Atlanta, but it feeds into y'all energy and the way y'all make music. You know what I'm saying? It's just different eyes on y'all. I feel like y'all could really make a huge impact. There's actually some artists that, if y'all mind, I would try to link y'all with, because I feel like the collaborations that y'all would come up with would just be mind-blowing and spectacular, you know what I'm saying?
Set it up.
Yeah, man.
Atlanta's calling. Atlanta's definitely calling me. My grandfather spent his last years of his life in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I have an affinity from being down there and spending that time down there and seeing that different way of life. And I've always enjoyed my time in Atlanta. And I got some people out there. A few of my boys out there, and then I got some people that we actually met at South by Southwest.
Okay.
In Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, nice,
So,
nice.
you know, it was like, if I could get down there, I got my cousin down there, I got my mans from up here down there, and I got my people in Columbus make that trip and everything. So, Atlanta's definitely calling us. So when you tell me, like, you know, they got the Melanin Monday down there, and I'm seeing them down there, and it's the red pills and the blue pills, and you know, for me, like, I'm not a celebrity guy, like, so I'm not like excited by that, you know. But when I met red pill and blue pill, like those things, like, oh, this is, to me, the knowledge, the information that they have, and the way that they share it, and just infuse that into our people, like, those are the celebrities to me. Those are the people that I'm excited and have that utmost respect for. So it's like, yeah, you tell me, shoot down to Atlanta, like, that's Atlanta calling me. That's why it's like, it's calling me. So I feel like me and Manak could definitely go down there and make some major moves happen.
I see y'all down there. I see it. Like, I see it in my head. Y'all can definitely make some moves down there. And I feel the same way about that. You know what I'm saying? Just like those are celebrities, people that putting on for the town. I look at y'all like celebrities, for real. Like, y'all putting on for the town, y'all representing, y'all putting 914 and Greenberg on the back. It was like, all right, we're gonna do it along with y'all Shorts, all the other artists out there that's really doing their thing, not rapping for the sake of rapping. That's putting out this hip hop, that's putting out this God hop, that's putting out shit that's making you sit down and be like, all right, let me listen to this, man. Let me listen to this, man. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. So as we start to wind things down, is it possible? If it's possible, your favorite verse from the joint. Can if it's possible, can you spit your favorite verse from? It don't even gotta be from House Money. It could just be your favorite verse ever that you ever wrote. It don't even gotta be from you. You could spit his verse. You know what I'm saying? Your favorite verse. You know what I'm saying? If you could be so kind. This will be the first time anybody's ever rapping on the Richie Moon Show. You know what I'm saying? So you can get your favorite verse. It don't even gotta be the whole 16. You know what I'm saying? I just put mad pressure.
I'm just trying to think of my favorite verse.
Yeah, well, I could only give you what I remember at the moment. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
I could go first. I remember some of cause I was going to parking lot.
Okay.
Ooh, that's another one of my favorite joints. I was actually, the original idea for this interview was to do it in the parking lot of 33 based on that song. Shout out to Josh. Maybe we can do a part 2 and get Jossie up here and some of the other dudes that collaborate on it. Cause I feel like they're definitely an important part.
Absolutely.
They're an important part of this project.
Oh, absolutely. They were a big part of it and everything. But yeah, parking lot, that was one of the records that I was like, just a very atmosphere building. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get in old school skits. Now this is where we're seeing him. This is where some of these things is happening and everything like that. But yeah, I was parking lot. I said, my heart don't have a house to call home or a phone to call out when it's out and alone. My heart don't get along with my brain and my genitals in general. And my soul is on hold with God on the other end. Buddha called, he said he gotta take this. TMZ caught them coming out of spaceship, smoking till the matrix makes sense. Red or blue pill, I'll take both of them. It's to the chosen one. High of life and faded, mostly my advice I'm taking, mostly all my vice is dangerous. I just want my slice of cake with all the frosting I deserve. Fruits of my labor ripen, we do cipher, a lot of herb in the parking lot. And keep your eyes peeled for white vans that ain't marked as cops. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. No cheers, just biz, my peers in purple haze. And they ask, who that nigga? From New York, I be that. I'm that nigga, I be that. Need my waxing, Madam Two Souls, but I'll settle now for some wax.
Woo!
And a Dutch, and a bag.
Hey.
I be that. That's one of my favorite joints.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm such a sucker for good flows, man. I'm a sucker for good flows, man.
Good looking.
I'm gonna go with my probably one of my favorites. I didn't mention earlier. My verse from Money Talks. That was the first collab we did with them. It was like motivated by a black man. My superhero wasn't Batman. Found God looking in the mirror. My mama told me I'm a bad man. My daddy broke it into fractions. He showed addition and subtraction. Don't judge a nigga by what he preach. You judge a nigga by his actions. Woo. Shape up or I fade away. Jaded lawyer, paid a wager. He go cool in the courtroom. Who the charge? Kamehameha.
Woo!
Hot stepper with the hot records. Top measure one dry pressure. Croc leather in the hot weather. Wrist arc like Tom Shepard. Got the game by the waistline. All you niggas do is waistlines. Big Draco on the FaceTime. Cock it back, catch a hate crime.
21 to vanity. About to lose his sanity.
Gotta flame this mic off, man. Gotta flame the mic off. Woo! Gotta flame the mic off. Yo, brothers, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Please tell the people where they can find you at, all the socials, all that, upcoming projects. Please let the people know where they can connect with 21 Grams at.
Everything's on 21gramsmusic.com. Instagram is 21grams music. Twitter is 21g music. My personal Instagram is manop m.o.n.o.p.
My personal IG is _Marcus_Stokes. And yeah, like you said, everything is 21 Grams Music, and you can find everything there. Go to the website, you can find everything there. Yeah. And that's links to all the music. Everything's streaming on all streaming platforms. Got some exclusive stuff on SoundCloud that we're working on and everything like that. And so yeah, there's a lot more to come, a lot more in store. Shout out to A-Dot.
Shout out to A-Dot.
You know what I'm saying? That's our in-house producing, and we got some real amazing stuff coming with him. I'm excited. Yeah, we excited to finally go. We've been sitting on a lot with him for a minute.